Hi, my name is Matt, and this is the wrap-up video for my 3-day, 2-night meditation retreat at the Siddhayatan Spiritual Retreat Center and Ashram in Windom, Texas. I'm going to talk about final impressions. I'll break down the price of the whole thing so that you get a good idea of whether or not it might be something that is worthwhile for you to look into. I knew that I wanted to go away. I wanted to get away from my regular routine. I wanted to be able to focus on meditation for a few days. I felt like if the points that I was in at the time that I booked it, that if I was just going to like one class a week, it would really stretch out the progress I was hoping to see. So being able to get away from the regular routine, focus on it for a few days would give me the jump start that I was looking for to my pathway of peace and balance. I will say that while I was there, my body, my mind was more calm. Was at peace, and it was great, you know, being able to take the mantra chanting, to do the meditation classes, to just be out in nature, to be in community with other like-minded people. It had a very calming effect on me until the morning of the third day when I woke up and I started feeling anxious again, knowing that I was about to go back into the real world and deal with, you know, life's struggles. And we were still doing things that morning, more meditation, more mantra, and so I calmed back down throughout all of that, but as soon as I got in the car and started driving off, I was starting to feel that tension in my chest again. So, needless to say, anxiety's not gone. Why would it be? I will still have triggers going forward, but I do have techniques that will help me manage. And that's what's important. I mean, life's not going to be perfect. Anxiety is not something that I've dealt with a lot in my life, but I'm dealing with it now. And there might be other things that I deal with in the future, but I feel like I have a way to calm my mind, calm my body whenever I do need it. So far, since I've been home, I've kept up with the toxin removal breathing exercises. But I haven't been able to dedicate the time that we spent in the meditation classes. I can't really dedicate 30 minutes at a time to meditation at this point. Maybe some days out of the week, but I haven't yet. I've used some of those focus on a fixed image or focus on a fixed scenario type things in my meditation a couple days, but the majority of the time I'm still going back to the Headspace mobile app and doing the guided meditations for that. You can choose the length that you want on those. It's usually 5, 10, 15 minutes increments, so you can use what works for you at the time. The toxin removal breathing exercises. I can't say that I've 100% bought into it yet, but for the time being, I don't see what it hurts to do it. I don't know if I'll ever be able to fully tell that anything's happened, you know, physically, but, you know, I'm building some core muscles, because it's a lot of, like, it's weird not in context, but it's good. Everybody that worked there was great. Very warm and inviting. The main guy, the master, including the monks that were there, there's a handful of monks that live and work there, male and female, and then there's monks in training. Everybody there was fantastic. I do think that they are there to not only grow in their own lives spiritually, but to lead others into a more peaceful existence. The guests that were there during the time I was there, also really great. I would assume if you're paying to go there, you're there for the right reasons. There were 5 people that showed up the day that I got there. 2 of us were only there for 3 days. 3 of us, the other 3 were there for a whole week. There also was a guy, an additional guy, who was there just open-ended, and whenever he had finished, he felt like he had finished his training, or the master thought he had finished his training, he was going to go home. And then there's one girl who was there all month of August. She's going to be there from August 1st through August 31st, and it was kind of a live-work type situation where she had to do work around the retreat center, landscaping, cleaning the rooms in between guests, that sort of thing. But she also got to take the classes. Nobody was voguing or, you know, trying to pretend like they knew more than they did. Most of us were beginners. It wasn't like, hey bro, Look at me, meditate. You know, it was a type of people you would want to be around when you're trying to learn more about spirituality. So, I promised that I would reveal what my aura read. If you remember, he read my aura and said that all of my colors are strong except for one. And that color was blue. And he had given a brief description of what all the colors were before, but I didn't quite remember, so I should have brought it up. I should have asked at the time. But once I got home, I went to the internet and tried to figure out what the aura colors meant. And here's what we came up with. Blue means cool, calm, and collected. Caring, loving, love to help others, sensitive, intuitive. Blues are some of the most loving, nurturing, and supportive personalities. They live from their hearts and emotions. Their purpose of being on the planet is to give love, to teach love, and to learn that they are loved. Their priorities are love, relationships, and spirituality. Blues are helpers who focus on service. I really thought that would be one that I excelled in, not one that I was lacking. So what am I doing with my life? It seems like if you're missing blue, you're a little selfish. And at one point in my life, I did think that I was behaving in a selfish way, but I thought I was past that and lived to love others. But, you know, auras are things that change all the time, so it could have been what was going on with me in that moment. Since I was at a retreat, working on myself, you know, maybe that showed a little bit of selfishness because I was working on my problems, not anybody else's problems, but that never really came up in anybody else's aura. And you know, at the time, I'm dealing with trust issues, you know, whether or not I can really, truly trust people in the future. So maybe that has a part of it as well. Alright, let's break down the price. For what I paid, a private room, private bathroom, it costs $490. It's 3 days, 2 nights. So if you wanted to do a semi-private, which means that you share a bathroom but you have your own room, that is $420. And if you wanted to just do a shared dormitory, hostel type room, it would be $350. And to be honest, I wouldn't be opposed to the shared room in the future. You spend a lot of time with these people anyway. It's not a whole lot of people there at one time. And so you're just in your room to sleep or read. I got a private room because I knew I'd be doing the video diaries, so I didn't want to interfere with anybody else's experience. Also, since I wasn't going to be in charge of the cooking, I was a little worried that, you know, specific curries or spices that would be in the meals would affect me, and just being real, I wanted to have access to a bathroom without hesitation or judgment. So, I would say that if they added another class the day that you arrived, that would make a world of difference. You know, you can arrive between 3 p.m. and 6 p.m. before the first mantra chanting at 6:30. That first day, only mantra chanting and dinner are the only things scheduled for the entire day. So I think if you threw in another meditation class or just some sort of introductory into their type of spiritual teaching, it would make a big difference. But I do think it's worth it, and I do encourage anybody to look into it. If you feel like you want to do meditation and you want to be able to focus on it, I think it's worthwhile for you. You know, I hope you've enjoyed joining me, learning a little bit about it. If you know me personally, you can certainly ask me questions in real life. If you don't, you can comment on these videos and I'll try to answer as truthfully as I can. Again, I only want to speak in generalities when it comes to the teachings, because I feel like you deserve to be taught from somebody who actually knows what they're talking about, not a beginner like me. But I have more of a foundation now, and you know, every day getting better. So thank you for joining me on this journey. I really appreciate it, and Jai Siddhayatan.